If all you did was, how many times have you heard that one? If all you did was this one thing, you would get the thing that you are wanting, or it would progress you on the path. Well, before I get into this, if you want to feel better than you did 10 years ago, all in under 10 weeks, or your money back, make us prove it. Click that button below, fill it out, and we'll give you a call, because we really are good at that one thing. But if all it did was, or if all you did was, we hear these all the time, if all I did was go to the gym every single day, if all I did was go to bed by 10:30, if all I did was wake up and walk for 10 minutes, if all I did was eat all my vegetables, if all I did was, I don't know, eat my protein first, if all I did was back off on those carbs, if all I did was cut my ice cream down from 3 scoops a night to 1 scoop a night. And the thing is, most of these things probably will work, you know? A lot of those, you know those infomercials that you see, that you used to see, they were just so cheesy. A lot of that stuff probably did work. And it's because the person just made it work. Because once they made one decision, then they ended up just psychologically making all the other decisions too. But this is the trick. The trick is not even complicated. It's not complicated at all. You just got to pick one of them. If you have any questions, put them down below, because I can answer them while I'm on here. And I'll answer them later too. But the trick is that you just pick one. You just pick one thing. And nutritionally, here's a really easy one. You just start with your vegetables, and then you eat your protein, and then you get everything else. It's a super easy one, but just pick one, you know? Whatever the thing is. And I would start with that one. That's a super, super easy one that most of the Western style diet, you know, the normal people in the United States eat. If we just started with our protein and then moved to your, you started with your vegetables, and then you moved to your protein, and then you moved to the less satiating, tasty type stuff, you'd probably do better off. I mean, you'd probably eat just a few less carbs. Like that video that we did on the carb phobic stuff, I definitely don't think you should be carb phobic, but at the same time, anyway, I digress. You know, we get a lot of people in here that are a little bit older, and they've been eating the same way for a really long time, and they want their ice cream. There's nothing wrong with all that stuff. You just have to adjust accordingly for it. You know, you're gonna have to get your recovery. You're gonna have to get your nutrition. You're gonna have to get your everything. Anyway, just babbling on now, but if you want help with this stuff, we really are good at this one thing. Just click the link below. Let us help out. We really do care, and we want you to. And we'll make it super simple, super welcoming. You know, one of the things that came up the other day was that welcoming video, and the enormous response from it was so cool. I was just kind of blown away. I tend to forget that just where people are in their journey, and just get sucked into the facts. And I think that's a little silly. You know, one of the things that floored me one time was this lady that came in for an assessment, and I was like, well, what do you want to do? What's your goal? What's your vision? And because it's kind of hard to get there if you don't know what you're going for. And she put her pen down on her health history. She just kind of got real, kind of sighed. She goes, you know what, Adam? You know what I really want? And I was like, no. Like, most people don't really think about it that deeply. And she goes, I want to go to a regular clothing store and try on regular clothes. And I mean, I was stopped. I'd never heard that one before. And I've heard that so many times since then. And this lady was probably mid-50s. And she'd been dealing with this for a long time. And it was really sad. But at the same time, it was like kind of inspiring in a way. Because it was like, I'm here, I'm ready to go. Something just flew in my eye. It is really, it was pretty cool of her to do that. And she did so well. She came at it, she worked hard, and she worked through a lot of stuff. She had a lot of obstacles in the way, but she just kept going and kept going and kept going. And everybody's got obstacles. But anyway, that's just one little story. Just focus on that one thing for 2 weeks. So if all you're gonna do is you're gonna eat your protein and your vegetables first, you do that at every single meal for 2 weeks, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's the trick. The trick is that you just pick one, because most of them will work, but you only get to do really one at a time. And you nail that one down to the ground, and you make yourself just an absolute master of that one. and then everything else tends to follow suit. Anyway, we have the 28-day shred coming up. Why don't you get just signed up for it? I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna be like, holy crap, I didn't know that I could do this. I didn't know how awesome it was gonna be. I didn't think you guys were serious. I thought it was all hype. It's not. We're actually really good at this thing. We just have never really like been super aggressive about marketing. We just kind of grew by performing. And I don't know, I think it's on some level, I think I'm, by not doing that, by robbing other people of the knowledge that something like this exists, this is exactly what people have always looked for. And I know that might even sound kind of arrogant, but when people start here, that's what we hear a lot. Like, this place is just so welcoming. I get to work on my joints without, work on my body without my joints getting torn to shreds. I feel good when I leave. I feel good when I'm here. I don't feel like my body's gonna turn to pieces. I don't get bored. People are nice, you know? It's just what we hear on a regular basis. And that's what we set out to do, you know, 12 years ago. It was just this like idea. We opened 12 years ago. It's a weird idea, but anyway, I'm doing this at the end of the video instead of the beginning. If you don't know me, I'm Adam Reese. I've run Grit Gym for the past almost 12 years now. Before that, I was a coach for 3 years. I got a lot of stories that I'll probably end up telling on here, but anyway, I've been in this stuff since 1997 when my grandma gave me a book on strength and conditioning. She had noticed me harassing the weight set in her basement, and anyway, it all started from then. I mean, I was lifting stuff before then, but it was like I only got really access to her basement like 2 to 4 times a month, and so I used to go into my dad's like iron. I grew up on a farm, and there was this iron pit, just a bunch of engine parts and axles and old stuff. I used to grab them and I'd lift them, and I'd do anything that I saw the American Gladiators doing. I would do that and lift them over and over again. But eventually, now we are 25 years later, and I'm still reading books, still obsessed with this stuff, still teaching people. I don't know, this is I think that's kind of the difference maker when you walk into Grit Gym, is like, how in the world can somebody create this? It's because, I mean, you'd have to get a time machine to go back and start this, because we had such a head start on everybody. But anyway, I've talked long enough. Thank you for being here. Please join us for the 28-day summer shred, and you do that by clicking that link. Click the link. Click the link. Click the link. And if you are outside of driving distance to here, go ahead and send that to somebody who is, please. But anyway, be great.